Okay, welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. So what we want to do now is to be able to click on the overall so that we can get the retention, the achievement, and the success rate working. So we're going to start by double clicking on this overall. Double click on that. So I'm going to start off by declaring the following arrays. So right there underneath the public, so it's going to be a global array. As you can see, I have 1 2 3 4 arrays there. So for the retention itself, I have 82 arrays. For retention and achieve and average, 12. Achievement and achievement average and success average, you can see them there. That's 12 12 12 and 82. So let's go back to the overall right here. No, I don't think that's it. Let's come back in here, check out the name. Let's just call button 1. So we might as well just start off by actually giving it the name. Let me give it a name. Let's come back here, right there, double click on that and just call it maybe BTN retention right there. Okay, we have BTN retention. Right, just double click on it then, and right there, BTN retention. Okay, so I start with these following lines of codes. So the first part of it is whatever is inside txt starter A is assigned into retention array 0, and the second one, the left one, which is this one, is assigned into retention 1. Okay, then both of them, according to the calculation of retention, to get the retention, you have to divide startup with this to get retention, and that's what I've done right here. Okay, all of this is just to convert it into percentage, to get it as a percentage. This one here, I only put this one because I intend to use this to calculate the average. Okay, so that's for the retention. This is for the achievement, and here is success rate. So have a good look at the code, because all I just do now is copy and paste this 11 times more. Okay, let's run the very first one. So supposing we have our number, the starter, let's say the starter is about 25 students, and towards the end we have maybe, or by the end we have 23, and the number of students that pass, let's say, is 21. So we can get the retention by dividing this by this. So if we click on overall, these are not working anyway. If we click on that, well, let's start it again, reset. Okay, because I didn't have anything there. Okay, now if we click on overall, that will give you the retention, the achievement, and the success rate for that very group. Okay, but here there's nothing in here, so nothing happens here. Alright, so let's reset and give that a shot again. So the next one is for this line itself. So all I'll just do is I'm gonna copy all of that, copy it, and maybe draw a line across, and just paste exactly the same lines of code. So all I need to do is, if you notice, I've made use of the following array number 6 has been used. So all I just do now is change this to array number 7, and this one becomes number 8. Okay, so if 0 is 7, here this one is 8, and this is 8. So that's what I will be doing all along. Okay, that's 7 as well, 8, and this one will be 1. Okay, so why the startup become B, that's B as well, B, and that's it. Okay, let's speed that up now. Okay, I believe I've finished copying and pasting it. It's exactly the same lines of codes all along. Have a good look at it. So let's run the system so that you guys see how it works anyway. Alright, run it and enter whatever value you want in there. Okay, let's just speed that up. Okay, I've speed this up, and this is decision time. Let's just click on this and see what will happen if it works right. All of the retention, achievement, and success rate should be populated. Yep, it is working. That's fine, guys. So all I need to now do is to be able to work on retention, achievement, and success rate. The reset is working, average is not working. Okay, let's come in here now. Alright, for the retention, all we need to just do is copy this. You see that of retention? Just copy that. All of the retentions will be copied. Okay, copy the very first one. Come into retention right here, double click, and just paste that right there. And the same thing will be repeated for the rest of the codes. Right here, those are the lines of codes for retention. Okay, all I'm just doing in there is dividing this very one, okay, with this one. If you notice, I don't seem to have this in there, but you can always just put that in there. That's just to do with the percentage anyway. Okay, so that means we need another one here. Right, you see that goes, but we don't really need it in here because I've played around with it and noticed that it's not needed. Okay, that's fine. That is for retention. So it seems we have the retention in place now, so maybe we should try that out and see if the retention works. Run the program. So check out the retention. Let's enter, maybe that's the number of students we have. Let's see how many we finish. There, check out the retention. Yes, the retention is working. You can see where we have the NaN. So in that case, maybe we just need to write 1 or 2 lines of code to get rid of these, or maybe we just use, yeah, we can also use an event just to get rid of that. Alright, so that's fine. So in the case of NaN, okay, to get rid of the value that NaN that you guys saw earlier, let me show you again. So if I enter something in here now, there, you see the rest become NaN. So I really don't want that. Maybe convert it to 0. So double click on the form there and just enter a function. Let me enter the function right underneath here, and I can always call that very function. Okay, so that's gonna be a long line of codes. There we go. So that is it. Anytime this becomes empty, just change it to 0. So, and the same thing applies to the NaN. There we go. Alright, so anytime that becomes NaN, convert it to 0. So I can always call this. I can call it anywhere. I can call it here, there, and I can also call it in that very button here. Double click on that and call it right here underneath here. Where is that? Here it's there already, so let's call it inside retention. Right underneath retention there. Let's call it inside achievement as well. Paste. I'm going to call it inside success rate. Right, so anytime I click on those buttons, if there's NaN, it will convert it to 0. Alright, so let's deal with achievement now, or achieve. Double click on achieve right there and enter the following lines of codes. So right there. Okay, see, it's the same lines of code that I've actually copied. Alright, so now the last but not the least is the success rate. So come in here, let's enter those codes here. Okay, it's exactly the same lines of code, but what is happening is just for the achieve, retention, and the success rate is just to copy. It is just to calculate each individual column. Right. So that is that. And for the average, let's declare the following variables. Let's say dim count 1, count 2, count 3 as maybe double. Yeah, just leave it as double. So we now come in here where it says average, double click on the average. Okay, we enter as follows to calculate the first part of the average, or the first column, the retention column. Here you can see count is assigned 0. So anytime if not this object equals 0, count is incremented by 1, and so on. So once we get the amount of object with that 0 is then added up here, and we then use that to find the average. Then we then use this 100 to convert it into percentage. That's what I've done in here. Okay, so the same thing, that's for the column retention. So the column success rate and achievement and success rates. So there they go. That is for success rate. Okay, and this is for achievement. Okay, so let's give it a try now. Run the program. Now we enter some values in here. So I'll just speed this up and get back to you. Okay, I've finished populating the status, number of students left on the course, and number of those who passed the course. So if I click on overall, right there you can see the retention, overall achievement, and overall success rate. So let's see if the average works. Right there you can see the average retention is 91.0. You can always get rid of this. Success achievement is 93.76, and the academic success rate is 79.32%. And that is how you develop your own retention, achievement, and success rate calculator. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. Bye for now.